Today I'm starting a new series of videos on compensation plans. The idea is that every week we'll highlight a different type of compensation plan, and I'll show you the weaknesses and the strengths of them and show you how you would use them in your business. Now, if you like this content, please hit that bell so you get notified when we post new videos, and also like our channel and subscribe. We need 1,000 subscribers in order to start live streaming, and I'd really appreciate the help to get us out there live streaming this content. The binary plan is a powerful plan. It is one of the few plans that gives you absolutely explosive growth. And one of the reasons for that is from what we call up motivation. In other words, people just spilling down the legs and creating a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement in the plan. And I'll show you how that works. So when you join a binary plan, you start up at the top of your own network, and everybody you sign up will either go down the left or the right-hand side of your network. Each person who joins in turn can sign up people in the left and right. So you can see here, Anne just signed up John and Fred, and Mary just signed up Tim and Lisa. Now, I'd just like to back up here to show you something. You'll see that Mary's first person goes into her right leg, and that's because Mary is in the right leg, and therefore that is her dominant leg. So she's dominant right, so her people will start off going into her right leg. In the same way, Anne's first person went into her left leg. That's because she is a left leg, and so she's dominant left, and John would spill into her left leg. And of course, everybody in the team below them would sign up into the teams, either left or right. So you can see here you've got two teams. You've got a team on your left-hand side called your left leg. You've got a team on your right-hand side called your right leg. Now, you get paid in these binary plans on the lesser of the two legs. Now, there's numerous different mechanisms that you get used to pay you. So the pay leg volume is one of them. So you get a percentage of the shorter of the two legs or the weaker of the two legs. Here you can see in your left-hand side, you've got $1,400. Your right-hand side, you got $700. That means the weaker of the two legs or the pay leg is the $700 leg. Now, you would get a commission. Let's say you're getting a 10% binary commission. In this case, you would get 10% of $700. You'd get paid out $70. So every single time the business cycles, it's normally done on a weekly basis, but every week you cycle, commission is calculated based on the weaker of the two legs, and you get paid out a percentage of that. Now, the matching volume, which is another concept you need to be aware of, is the point at which the two volumes on the right and the left leg match. So $700 matches $700 on the left leg with a $700 leftover. So we call that matching volume, and you'll see here what happens is we deduct $700 from both legs. You land up with naught in your right leg, you land up with $700, and that's considered to be banked volume. So there's another concept for you, banked volume. So the banked volume could then be used in a following cycle to actually offset or match and therefore allow you to get paid out. So it becomes part of the volume of your left leg moving forward. So the strengths. The first strength is spillover, where people are spilling into the network. The second strength is power leg, where you get one leg that just grows explosively. The weaknesses are orphans, where you get people who are left to fend for themselves, and runaway commission, which is very risky for the company because you can have a commission that just balloons out of all proportion. So let's go through these strengths and weaknesses to show you. So the first thing is spillover. Let's say you are the only person recruiting in your network, and you recruit Anne and you recruit Mary. Now, when you recruit your next person, you can't put them in your front line because you only allow two people in your front line. So the next person would go under Anne. So John gets placed under Anne, and the next person would be placed under Tim. Then if you signed up Abby and Val, they would be placed down your left and right legs at the bottom. So you can see that Abby spilt into John and Anne's leg. That means that even though John and Anne haven't recruited anybody, they've got people in their legs. Now, in the Netready system, what we do is we send an SMS to John and say, hey, somebody just joined your team. And then we send an SMS to Anne and say, hey, somebody just joined your team. And so we create this up motivation, which gets everybody in the network excited. Even though they haven't even started doing anything at this point, they're already getting people placed in their team, and they're getting notified of that. So spillover is a very powerful concept, and it's one of the reasons that these binary plans grow so fast. The second concept is the power leg we talked about, big positive. So a person goes out and they sign up Anne, so you sign up Anne, and suddenly Anne signs up John, and John signs up Abby, and this thing just goes crazy. This left leg of yours just goes wild, and that's called your power leg, and it's growing without your intervention. It's just happening. You then can focus on building your right leg. So you put Mary into your right leg, and Tim into your right leg, and Val into your right leg, and the thing is that that right leg is now your only focus. So in reality, you're only building half of the business because the other side is taken care of by the team in the power leg. So that is a very powerful concept, and again, the reason that these businesses grow so fast is because actually everybody's only focused on growing one of their legs. Now, there are problems with this comp plan. The first problem is orphans. Now, what happens is Anne gets all excited because she's got this power leg, so she puts her first person into her right leg to try and get her pay leg going. And then she never recruits another person in her life. And what happens is that Fred becomes an orphan. He's isolated. He's not in the power leg. There's nobody helping him grow his business. So he's actually got to grow his entire business by himself. And so these orphans really do have a tougher time of it because they've got to grow both of their legs. Now, some of the ways we overcome this is we know that in the whole industry, the average recruits per person is 1.25. So in other words, if you take your total number of people and see how many they recruit, on average, they're only recruiting 1.25 people in their lifetimes. So it's not per month, it's ever. The incredible thing is that if they're doing 1.25, you get exponential growth. So that number is a wonderful number because it provides you with exponential growth. But it also allows us to not eliminate, but limit the damage that can be done through orphan placements. So what we do here is we force the first person down the dominant leg. Now you can see Anne is a lefty, so her dominant leg would be left. So in actual fact, Fred would be placed at the bottom of the left leg because it's her first recruit. Her next recruit would be placed on the inside leg, and that's fine because if she's able to recruit 2 people, the chances are she'll be able to recruit 3, 4, or 5. The second way we overcome the problems with orphans is we teach them to focus on sales. So they go out and they sell products, they get retail commission. Now that's a level playing field for everybody. And there needs to be retail commission in your business. That's part of the legal strategies that the authorities have put in place. So you have to have retail sales. So if you focus Fred, for example, on retail sales, he will pick up automatically, he will pick up some downline members who will start his business growing. The next thing we need to talk about is normalization. Now, one of the big problems of binary commissions is that you get runaway commission. It can literally balloon out of all proportion, and you can land up paying 120% of your earnings. So you've got to put some protection in place. And what we do is we call that our parachute. We call it normalization. But the idea is to limit the commissions to 40% no matter what happens. So if the commissions balloon, you want to limit them or normalize them to 40%. And the way that you do that is in the system, you place a 40% normalization, and the system will then reduce everybody's commission across the board by a percentage equal to whatever is necessary to bring it down to 40%. Now, obviously, you've got to tell your network, you can't have unrealized expectations, and you've got to make sure it's in your terms and conditions. And then you hope like crazy that you don't get this thing kicking in too often. If you do, it's time to adjust your commissionable values because obviously you're paying too much commission on your products. So that's it for the binary plan. I hope that you enjoyed that content. So if you'd like to receive this content, please like us, hit that bell so that you get notified when we post new content, and please subscribe to our channel. We need 1,000 people to subscribe in order for us to be able to live stream. So we'd really appreciate some help in that department.